So the WWE and Netflix deal starts officially in January, and for us people here in the UK, I think this is going to be absolutely amazing, especially as everything will be in one place now. Um, we're gonna have Raw, Smackdown, NXT, the premium live events, all on Netflix for us. In the US, they're only going to get Raw at the moment, and then as time goes on, they'll add, like, other parts to Netflix and stuff. But for outside the US, this is going to be um, a really good deal, I think, going forward, especially with like pretty much everybody in the world, I think, has Netflix. So it's easier to sell Netflix to people than to try and sell the WWE Network, where in the US they got rid of the WWE Network and they moved over to Peacock. And since they moved over to Peacock, I've noticed that the WWE Network for us here in the UK, I think's got worse. We still get the premium live events, but we don't get any of the new shows. So like the originals and stuff like that. So it seemed to have stopped. I think we get the odd little thing here and there, like if it's something that's already on here and there's a new one of it. But any of the new kind of documentary series things where they follow or do about a specific wrestler, like the Damian Priest one that they've done recently, that's not on here. Um, so we're kind of missing a lot of the content for the last at least couple years. We just have the older stuff, which some people's probably fine because they want to just watch, the premium live events, pay-per-views, and not really that interested about these other extras. And here in the UK, we were watching Raw, SmackDown, and NXT on TNT Sports, so you'd have to pay extra to get them channels on top of, if you had Virgin or Sky or whatever, you have to get the BT. Well, there were BT Sports, now TNT Sports channels as extras, and basically, like, with this deal, it won't be on them channels now, so we won't have to pay for them channels unless you were paying for them because of the football or something anyway. But if you weren't really watching football and you were just getting it just for the wrestling, at least you won't have to pay for that now. Plus the WWE Network, which is £9.99 here in the UK. So it's probably good that it's never really changed. It's never gone up, but the content has probably gone down a little bit, I'd say. So I don't think they could really justify upping the price anyway. But at least now, as far as I know, the WWE Network will completely cease to exist. It will just either go into hibernation or close down completely. So we won't have to pay for that anymore. And so now if you don't have Netflix, you'll have to get Netflix. And as far as I understand it, there's no extra on Netflix. It's not like you're gonna have to pay. Like how they do on Amazon Prime, where they have the add-ons and things, other subscriptions within there, like getting the WWE Network within Netflix. So that it's like they're advertising it almost like it's an app within an app or whatever. So you'd have to pay through that. It's, as far as I understand, it's part of the subscription. So even if they, were to increase the price next year, to say, well, because we've got all the WWE Network stuff on here now, it's maybe going to go up by like £1 or something. So you're already still saving. So you're saving your £10, and if it does go up a little bit, £1 or £2, you're still better off. And I'm hoping that when it goes onto Netflix, so this is how it looks here in the UK anyway. The Netflix app. I don't know if it looks like this everywhere, but I'm hoping that what they do is either at the top here where it's got the series, films and categories. I'm hoping that either it will have one of those buttons there that will have WWE or something there, or at the bottom where it's got home, games, new and hot, and then my Netflix. a button that's there, because they're gonna add everything to it. There's gonna be all of the stuff that's already on this WWE network right now, and I'm hoping that it also means that we'll get the stuff that Peacock's been getting, but I don't know if we will, or we might get some bits that are different. Peacock gets their stuff because they've got a deal or whatever, and Netflix start doing their own shows with it. Like they've got the Vince McMahon documentary that's coming up real soon, so maybe there'll be more of that kind of stuff, like more shows and stuff that are specific to WWE stuff anyway. And then, you know, the other thing as well is when you watch the old episodes on the WWE Network, it's kind of you're like 4 weeks behind. So if you want to watch the most recent episode of Raw that they've got on there, it's the 5th of August, so it's like a month behind. So you couldn't just ever have just the WWE Network. You'd have to have the WWE Network for the premium live event and having TNT Sports to watch the live episodes each week. Or if you didn't mind waiting a month, then you could do it this way, I guess. But who's going to wait a month to watch episodes? You see, you're 4 weeks behind, and you're going to have spoilers and everything, and then you can't watch the premium live events as they happen. So then you're watching that a month late. So yeah, the only one that's like current is because it got taken off of TNT Sports is NXT. So NXT is up to date. It's live on there, and that's the only way to watch NXT in the UK, is to watch it on the WWE Network. So it should have everything of NXT on there, all old, new, and it's straight up to date. You can watch it. You can watch the NXT show each week live, and that will still happen even though in America NXT is going to CW. Here in the UK, it doesn't have a deal, so it will go straight onto Netflix. So for us, we're getting literally everything on Netflix, and because there's so much content there, I can't honestly believe that they wouldn't have a dedicated button or something on here, because if it gets mixed in with everything else that's on here and it just becomes one of these sections that scrolls sideways, like where it's got comedy programs, and it was all just like, say, here. So you had, like, you know, instead of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you had Raw, then next to it Smackdown, then NXT, then premium live events, then so on and so on, like each section under this one thing. I don't see that being done, unless they did do it like that and they put it right at the top, because they'd obviously want it to be featured. I mean, they're paying a lot of money. It's like $5 billion deal or whatever. So, you know, they're gonna want it to be obvious on here, because they want to bring in new subscribers, and WWE want to bring in new viewers, and I think it's a perfect, you know, combination, because, like I say, everybody has got Netflix, you know, so it's kind of, and the ones that maybe don't have it, the odd people that don't, they'll end up probably getting it now because of Raw, and then that will mean that they will end up watching things that they don't normally watch on Netflix, onto Netflix. So it's kind of it's a win-win for everybody, I think. More so, I think, for WWE because of the amount of money they're getting and the amount of exposure they're going to get now. I don't know how. The only thing I don't know how it's going to quite work is the adverts, because the other day they'd said that Raw is supposed to be coming off of the USA Network this fall, but because they won't have a home, they've basically done a short-term deal, and it will be between sort of October and until the premiere on Netflix. It's going to a 2-hour show. Now, a lot of people were saying that maybe that's the future when it gets to Netflix, and maybe it's because if it goes on Netflix, it's not going to have advert breaks, and because it won't have advert breaks like it does on TV, you kind of cut out all of them minutes anyway, which could end up adding up to like 30-40 minutes over a 3-hour show. So that's why they cut it down. But then I think it was last night they came out and said there was a press release or whatever that when it goes to Netflix, it is still going to be it's going to go back to being a 3-hour show. So I don't know how they're going to do it on Netflix, if it's going to have advert breaks still, because in America it's well, actually everywhere for Raw is going to be on Netflix anyway, so it's not going to be any reason for any discrepancies. But for things like NXT and Smackdown, when it's live on telly, if it's going to still be live right then as it's happening, say like NXT is on CW in the US, and in the UK it's on Netflix live, and they're both happening right there and then, there's no delayed or anything, it's coming on the next day or whatever, it's going to be live just like it is at the moment when you watch it on TNT Sports, then it would have to have advert breaks or something going on when the advert breaks are happening on the CW network. So would that mean that maybe Netflix will do their own adverts where they advertise upcoming shows or shows that are doing really well, or a movie that's like a Netflix specific movie or something, in those advert breaks? Or will they actually show adverts, and make money that way? So that's how they're kind of going to justify not adding to the subscription and making their money back that way through adverts? Or will they have like on the Raw show, for instance, because it'll be live everywhere on Netflix, I assume, at the same time, they won't need to have advert breaks because of, unless they were going to add it to everything anyway, then they could have like no breaks in the show, but then like do what they kind of do on the premium live events, where they have like sponsored matches or little icons that come up in the corners of the screen, like the top right, top left hand corner, that advertises like a video game sometimes, or an upcoming movie that's about to release at the cinemas, things like that, like the Slim Jims little adverts that are like WWE kind of wrestlers orientated, that are in the actual adverts. If they're going to do things like that, then that's how they could make their money back anyway. But yeah, I'm really excited about the upcoming WWE stuff coming to Netflix, and I'm hoping that it ends up being, working out really well for both, and it ends up being a permanent thing for years and years to come, and not just for this term of the deal, and then they decide to split because it wasn't paying off, or it wasn't helping either side, and doesn't make them both, bigger, more profitable, which is obviously what they both want to do. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I don't know about other people, maybe in the US, maybe not so much, but for us in the UK, definitely, because now we can get rid of the WWE Network, and we can get rid of the BT Sports channels, and we can just watch everything on Netflix, and one subscription, and that's it, everything in one place. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get everything that the Peacock get, and if not, maybe a little bit afterwards, like, a few months after would be nice, if anything. Just like WWE Network doesn't get anything wherever of those things. It's not even delayed by like a few months or a year or whatever. You just don't get it. Or if we don't get those, then ones that are specific for Netflix, that would be nice. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah,